Today is Tuesday. No, today is not Tuesday. Today is Monday. And I am in my Father's house, waiting for the promise to be fulfilled. Promises, promises. Better promises. And yesterday was a day. It will not occur again for quite some time, I'm sure. I don't know if it will occur again. And it might come around again next year. I really don't know. I don't. But I'm sure of this. That there will be people that make fun of me. And there will be people that will probably make fun of you. I wear the shirt today that very plainly says, I am the fool. That's what it says. I made it 70 years without wearing a shirt with writing on the front that says, I am the fool. But I have one on today. And I have in front of me the Bible. It's evidently not the book for you, but it is the book for me. So there you go. And I'm sure that this video that I'm making will ultimately be maybe seen by someone. But if it's not, I'll get to see myself, the fool. There was, long ago, a king. And his name was Saul. Saul did not do well. And yet he was king for an appointed number of days. And then there came a day that Saul died. And another man whom God chose became the king. And his name was David. And after David was king, there was the third king, and his name was Solomon. Now those were kings years ago. Some years later, there was another king, and his name was what was his name? Darius. His name was Darius. King Darius. King Darius signed a document. And there was a man named Daniel who knew it had been signed. And he entered his house and he continued kneeling on his knees 3 times a day, praying and giving thanks before his God. Just as he had been doing previously. And certain men came by and found Daniel making petition and supplication before his God. And they approached and spoke to the king about the injunction. And he said, I'm reading here, the king answered and said, the statement is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which may not be revoked. Then they answered and spoke before the king. Daniel, one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you. I don't pay attention to Darius either. I sure don't. And they, as soon as the king heard this statement, he was deeply distressed and set his mind on delivering Daniel. And even until sunset, he kept exerting himself to rescue him. The man, the king, Darius, knew, I have made a mistake. And these men came by and recognized, O king, that it is a law. And no injunction or statute which the king establishes may be changed. Well, the king gave orders, and Daniel was brought in and cast into the lion's den. The king spoke and said to Daniel, your God, whom you constantly serve, will himself deliver you. Yep. Those are the words of King Darius. And I read them right here. They're on page 1284. Your God, whom you constantly serve, will himself deliver you. And a stone was brought and laid over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring, that nothing could be changed. But Daniel's God delivered him.